Open meeting will resume. No action was taken. We will go back to item 5, additional agenda items. Motion, we add item 20A, consider interim city manager compensation.
Second.
Discussion? Brenda?
Commissioner Bill?
Aye.
Commissioner Hawks?
Aye.
Commissioner Nessa? Aye. Commissioner Hager?
Aye.
Mayor Jones?
Aye.
Who seconded that?
Mark.
Mark.
Now we will go to item 20A, consider interim city manager compensation. A motion that we authorize interim city manager compensation increase of $6 per hour during time serving as interim city manager, backdated to January 17th, 2018.
Second.
Discussion. Brenda?
Commissioner Bill?
Aye.
Commissioner Hawks?
Aye.
Commissioner Nessa? Aye. Commissioner Hager?
Aye.
Mayor Jones?
Aye. Moving on to 21, city manager comments.
I think we're gonna need a special meeting, not a work session, we need it to be a special
There's the
meeting.
potential for action, so I think you need it, might as well just do
Yeah,
this special.
okay. I was hoping maybe April 25th might be a tentative date, or we kinda talked about the 27th, but I really don't want my Friday taken. Maybe the 25th would be the,
Wednesday.
Wednesday after 7.
Wednesday after 7 work?
Whenever on Wednesday.
so that does, okay.
Okay.
And then
Put out the
we'll get
call
the
notice.
notice out, and, Brad will help me with all the agendas, so we can work on some of the stuff that we haven't been able to focus on.
Tuesday I'll be in Western Kansas.
Okay.
And you said at 7, or you want at 7:30?
7's fine.
7. Yeah. And I left my other note in the other room. I just wanted to tell you, how well I think the city crews are doing. I don't know if you guys have noticed anything around town. I've been real pleased with the work that we're getting done and accomplished if you go by the lake with Shelter House. And I mean, and there's electric linemen, they're doing lines, of course, that you guys don't see and stuff like that, but, we've had some major issues with, so, I just feel like everybody's working really well together, and I just wanted to,
Say, I've had some citizens notice, who brought that up to me as well in the last couple of weeks.
so, that's, I think all I have. Did you have anything, Brad, that you needed to, besides this?
No, not for me, we'll put that on that special meeting. so.
Okay. That's all I have today.
Robin?
Cleanup week, are they gonna put stuff out the curb again, or not doing that?
No.
So how's it working? Somebody asked me.
Okay, there's, well, we created a Facebook event. There was a letter published in the newspaper. There'll be a letter to the editor in this week's newspaper as well. But there'll be a dumpster down at the city shop from 8 to 3:30? 7:33, something like that.
8 to 3:30.
For the groups that are going out and picking up trash, that way they've got some place to take it back to. They're not trying to figure out how to dispose of it themselves. They'll also be taking old paint, oils, batteries,
Hazardous stuff like that.
stuff like that, but no dumping, just take it down there. There'll be a city person available, right? And the first 100 tires dropped off at LNJ Tire, maximum of 4 per family, the city will pay for, so that's costing us up to $300. After that, John will continue to take them, but you're gonna pay the $3 recycling fee, just like you normally would. Beyond that, it's pretty much
Yeah, we're not taking furniture, appliances, nothing like that.
the intent with the community-wide cleanup is to get the community involved, not the city come around and pick up your stuff for you.
That's fine, I just want to clarify.
Especially with all of the,
Started, so.
what's that?
I remember the old ways, so I didn't know how you was doing it this way, so.
Well, especially, we don't want personal opinion, I don't want any of the city workers to lose any of the traction that they've gained with the good weather and all of the work they've been doing this spring. They've got
They've got a
things
lot.
to do. We don't have
Got
people
a
to,
huge list
yeah.
that I keep adding to.
So that, the other issue is like the Vibe is cutting trees down. I don't know, Scott, you seen the piles of trees?
I've started noticing a few here and there.
So I don't want the, the people that live there get in trouble for not taking the tree limbs out. They're just cutting trees and dropping and running wire.
Yep.
They're not cleaning them up.
They should clean
Really?
it up.
I'll get a hold of them. I would assume that they're gonna pick that up, but I will call. I have that.
If you
letter
would
from-
please check with that, because, okay, they're gonna pick them up, but when? Because I know Fifth Street, there's a lot of tree limbs laying on the deck, and they've been there for a while.
Across from
and
Little
I-
Market, down
Yep.
from me, I
Um,
mean, they're just dropping, I mean, which is fine if they clean
But
it
they
up.
still need to go back and clean them up.
I don't want somebody else to have to clean their stuff
Personal
up.
opinion, I'd really
Right.
like them gone before the car show,
Yeah, I
you know?
Yeah,
And that's all I have.
okay.
And it's good that Scott's here, because he's, keep that in mind before we irritate people for tree limbs that maybe they,
That's all I have.
Marcus?
It's tax time, I don't know.
Sir?
I was looking to see if I had anything in here. Nope, nothing I see. On my Google Docs.
All right, I'm submitting my letter of resignation from the Herington City Commission as a commissioner to be effective May 1st, 2018 at 12 p.m.
Denied.
I am doing so at this time so that whomever the commission picks to replace me will have at least 3 meetings before deciding to file for election. This decision has not come easily, and I've been honored to serve as commissioner for the city of Herington. We've done amazing things in the 3 years that I've been on the commission. I believe that Herington is headed in the right direction. I would also like to recommend Curtis Hartman to fill my term. That is up to you all, though, but in the election that I and Mrs. Souza were elected, Curtis was the next highest vote getter. Curtis is very knowledgeable about the community and very level-headed. Both traits, I think, are needed in this time of transition for the city of Herington. Respectfully submitted, Mark Hager. And so I'll still be here for the special meeting. I plan on moving, like I said a couple meetings ago, for work, hopefully by June, because that's when my tags are due.
Plan
And
accordingly.
I want to move before I don't have to pay tags here, then have to repay in another county.
Plan accordingly.
We get the tax offset.
No.
That is funny.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Can we deny this, letter of resignation?
We can deny it, but I don't think that's gonna stop you from moving.
But I'd like to try.
All right, you might have noticed when you came in, we did print off, Brenda was so nice to print off copies of the public forum policy. It's not a new policy, it's the same policy the city's had in place since 2015, but it is a policy that we are going to get back to enforcing, as far as time limits, ability to speak, everything. It's right and good, and we should be following our own policy, and we will do so. The commission, I did send out an email today. I went to the floodplain review meeting today. For general information, the state is reviewing the floodplain. Right now, it's going through the higher level overview. That's to be completed by 1 June. After that, it will go to a public review. And anybody impacted by the floodplain will be sent a letter or information on how to get specifics on that floodplain. There'll be an open meeting, probably in Abilene, because the state's conducting it, and I think Abilene is the county. But that meeting will be open to anybody that wants to go ask questions about why something was done a certain way or anything like that. I will tell you that the meeting I went through today, they went through extensively the work that they have done in reviewing the floodplain, considering new watersheds and changes to bridges and I mean, the level of detail that they go to is pretty interesting.
So you think it's shrink or?
In places, it's gonna grow slightly, mostly it's shrinking. There are quite a few places in town right now that are in the floodplain that come 2020, when the new maps are in place, won't be in the
Which would
floodplain.
be good, 'cause
Oh, yeah. It didn't shrink as much as we would have liked it to, but it did shrink. And even the places that are still in the floodplain, it might be a difference of how deep you are in the floodplain. I mean, if the flood at your house is 2
floodway
feet,
and flood
and now it's at 6 inches,
Fringe.
fringe, yeah.
yeah, that's a significant difference. So there'll be more information coming out on that, but those new maps Like I said, the public review will start after 1 June. That will be published. They will be going to they'll be going to FEMA sometime later on in the fall after their public review session is completed. Then FEMA will start their review process, and the new maps will be official in 2020. The presenter today did say that Dickinson County had some of the oldest floodplain maps in the nation,
So a good thing we got there.
which was enlightening. But I did send an email out with the information on that. I will be going to the Governing Body Institute Mayor's Conference, 21 and 22 April in Topeka. Do we have any more information on getting clarification on the employee training required for commissioners, or have we had a chance to check in on that yet?
I guess the answer to that is no, we haven't checked it.
Okay. Because I know typically it hasn't been something we've worried about, but technically we are city employees, so I just want to make sure that down the road we don't trip on something that, well, you didn't get trained in that? You're a city employee, you should have been.
Yeah.
And I think everything else, where are we at with the rate study?
He
On the
sent
water rate?
me, some figures and stuff that we're looking at. I gotta.
He set up the rubric and he sent a template that has most of the information in it. What he was looking for was anything that we might find that was anomalous,
Okay.
given what how we have billed and how we've gone about calculating that, which is in and of itself a challenge to figure out. He's probably got a better grasp on that candidly than anyone else ever has, including the people that initially did it. It looks to be accurate, the best we can tell.
It looks like pretty good to me. so.
Yeah, and I think that we would see anything that screams out that, no, you've misread that or you're doing that incorrectly. So I think he's on the right track, clearly has a good handle on how to do this
And he will come and present it.
and explain all of the
So as
detail.
soon as, I wanted to talk to Brad before I told him yes to see if he saw anything either, so I'll tell him that we're good with what he has, and then he'll do the next step, which is the rates.
Okay. And I want to get that done for a couple of reasons, so we can get ours fixed for our plant, but also so we can get a good answer to Hope.
Mhm.
And we also need to address Woodbine,
Yes.
and then after that, the sewer rate study, and
Yeah, and he's already started on that as soon as I get him what he's requested, which I have not. so.
awesome. I think everything else is going to be addressed at the special meeting next Wednesday. We do need to set a date for a budget workshop. It's getting into that time of year, we need to get started on that. Any thoughts from the commission? Is, do you want to do it on a Saturday down at the community building? Do you want to do it on an evening?
My weekends are gone, so it'd be the evening best for me, or any, most
Okay.
evenings.
You want to try and stick with Wednesday evenings?
That would be good work for me. 'cause
Wednesdays in
church
general,
stuff is
son?
done.
It works best for.
Okay, so Wednesdays in general would work best?
There's usually no sports on Wednesdays.
The only thing that we might try to avoid is May 9th will be baccalaureate at the high school. I don't know if anybody has any part in that, but graduation festivities stuff going on.
If you start early enough at this point, what I would probably suggest you want to do is the policy element, is the broad strokes. This is what we want to accomplish, the strategic planning side of it, because the number aggregation is probably going to come into the city office to the city manager as a starting point, and then come to you, and that all gets adjusted according to what you say. Okay, we want to do 6 blocks of street repair complete, or, as examples, whatever it may be, so that list, that hit list, the punch list, is the starting point in terms of a lot of how these numbers are going to get developed and come back to you.
Establishing a date time frame, and I know you've already got some of the information from the departments. Do we want to do the first one on May 2nd?
That would work for me.
Sure. Awana is done by then, right?
Yeah,
So I don't have a 7 PM time frame or anything to worry about.
I'm done with church after.
6
the
PM?
23rd.
6 PM on May 2nd? For budget workshop?
Yes, sir.
Work for everybody? Okay. Sage grounds or alibis?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Brenda?
Commissioner Bell?
All right.
Commissioner Hawks? Commissioner Nestle. Aye. Commissioner
Aye.
Mayor Jones.
Aye.